And now, broadcasting from the Ginger and Baker studio in the heart of the Music District, it's Live at Lunch on KRFC 88.9 FM. We are airing on 88.9 on your FM dial and streaming online at krfcfm.org with live video stream on Facebook. Welcome to Live at Lunch. Hello, I'm David V., your host today. Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker studio. Today's video is made possible by Fort Collins Public Media. I'm excited to introduce today's guest, Tyler T.
Ocean, gazing by the open sea. That sails in the water. Fire was waiting there for me. It's waiting there for me. Speak of many fortunes, beauty to behold, surrender to the forces, grant favor to the bold, reaches of tomorrow, dawn of history, to the border I go. To the mystery, to the mystery. Set our sights beyond the heavens, descend in space and time. So I pass through the horizon. To see what I could find. See what I could find. Reaches of tomorrow, dawn of history. To the border I go. To the mystery. To the mystery. sun and stars to light my way. The whole world to know my name. I'm far and wide. No matter what I find, a mystery still remains. Reaches of tomorrow, dawn of history. To the border I go, to the mystery. Reaches of tomorrow, dawn of history. To the border I go, to the mystery. To the mystery.
Tyler T. Into the mystery here on Live at Lunch, KRFC 88.9 FM, radio from Colorado, for Colorado and the world. All right, that was a new one.
Yeah. One I wrote, that's the only song I wrote over the pandemic, actually.
Oh, seriously? Well, I put a lot into it. Watching you play about 6 or 7 different keyboards and guitars and percussion and various electronics is a lot of concentration.
Yeah, that one goes like pretty deep with it all, and it was, yeah, just a lot to put together and keep up with, I guess.
What was the inspiration behind that one?
I had like all this gear set up in this apartment I had, and I spent a lot of time just writing music. I wasn't really writing like lyrics and full songs, but I was just kind of experimenting with a lot of gear. So I guess the inspiration behind that, after, I felt like that song just kind of explores a lot of weird sounds, and it, like the loops kind of change throughout there. So with that thought of like exploring, I thought the song would be, I got into thinking about like explorers, great explorers over time, you know, and how scary it would be to like jump into a boat and cross the ocean, and the bravery it takes.
Speaking of weird sounds, but I don't think they're weird. Where do you get your influences? I mean, there's Aboriginal Australian music. There's North African influences. Where did you find those in Lubbock, Texas?
I got a didgeridoo from a friend of mine when I was in college, and I guess I'd kind of been into like artists that use those, and some of like just the world music scene. All the different little weird instruments and sounds, like this keyboard does a lot of ethnic kind of sounds. So I like to kind of cross that with more like modern dance beats and stuff, and some experimental electronic music. Kind of just weave it all together.
When did you start getting into that style and grabbing those influences? Or was it, I mean, like most people, you're from someplace else here, here in northern Colorado. We have all, seems like we've all come from someplace else. And what brought you originally from Lubbock up to Fort Collins?
It was the music scene, actually. I toured a lot when I lived in Texas, and I'd always played here in town. I did a lot of shows at Avo's back in those years. And then there's a company called Shaped Music that sort of brought me and my sound guy up here and had work for us to do. And every time I toured, I'd always kind of dreamed about not going back home to Texas. And eventually, all the places we looked at, like, I almost moved to Flagstaff, Arizona, or
You
maybe
have
somewhere.
family down there?
No,
Friends?
I just
Like
liked
the area?
it. Yeah, I thought it was a cool music scene, and like where I come from in Texas, it's kind of nothing but country music. And
Well, that's why I was curious where you found those influences down there.
I don't know, just like being in college and listening to all different kind of
Where'd you go to college?
bands and stuff. South Plains College in Levelland, Texas. They actually have a really good music program, and there's There's a few people up here in the area that I went to school with.
Did you major in music in school?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, got a associates in commercial music.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, Into the Mystery, that was a brand new tune, as you mentioned that you've been working on. Let's get back into the music a little bit. Next one's Butterflies. That's also a new tune?
Yep.
All right.
That one I wrote before the pandemic, but it hasn't been like recorded yet.
All right. Tyler T here on Live at Lunch.
Calls my name, I come running. Hear the sound from my directions. My mind try to run away. Though I try, I can't resist it. See her smile, I stop blushing. The cornerstone of my obsession. Sings a song, takes my breath away. I try, I can't resist it. Got butterflies buzzing outside my window. I got butterflies buzzing outside the door. In my dreams, in my heart, and on my mind. All my butterflies. Shine my light, they come buzzing. Times are rolling by the dozen. Minds in the afternoon. Suddenly I'd be surrounded. Got butterflies buzzing outside my window. I got butterflies buzzing outside the door. In my dreams, in my heart, and on my mind. All of my butterflies. Comes around, she goes around. Another day, fluttered by a butterfly. Fly away. calls my name, I come running. Hear the sound from all directions. Sings a song, takes my breath away. Though I try, I can't resist it. Got butterflies buzzing outside my window. Got butterflies buzzing outside the door. In my dreams, in my heart, and on my mind. All of my butterflies. All of my butterflies. All of my butterflies. All of my butterflies.
Butterflies, brand new song from Tyler T here on Live at Lunch, KRFC 88.9 FM. So butterflies are a euphemism for something, obviously. All your butterflies, what are those?
It was like, I guess, a feeling you get when a girl you like starts paying attention to you.
Oh, all right. That's where it came from. Well, you know what? It's obvious to anybody listening to you that you obviously do a lot of looping, doing your own looping to create rhythms and textures. And I was going to ask you, how did you get into that? Were you influenced by another artist? Did somebody show you the looping technique that they played? How'd you get into it?
It was actually, there was an old Led Zeppelin record. It was a live thing, and Jimmy Page was using like a tape delay to record a rhythm guitar part. And I didn't think that was possible, I mean, at the time, being a little kid playing guitar. And I always thought it would be cool if I could do that and play lead guitar over what I was doing. And it started with a certain little looper pedal that I was doing that with and playing lead over it. And then it evolved into using a keyboard. And I had, since I started doing that, found other like loop artists. You start looking into how it's done. But yeah, it was like
drum machines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, and it was like, an old Led Zeppelin record that I was like, tape delay, what's that? I need to figure out what that is.
So you do listen to other types of music, or have listened to other types of music besides Aboriginal and North African. What do you listen to these days?
It's kind of all over the place.
You mentioned you love world music, obviously.
Yeah, and I've gotten into, like, the hand pan kind of stuff. One of the guys in my band does that stuff. But lately influences have been like Danny Barnes. He's like a bluegrass guy. He's a banjo player, actually, and I got like into St. Vincent real heavy a couple of years ago. That's completely different than bluegrass. So it is kind of all over. Nothing really in particular.
You have shows coming up?
I do, yes. So I guess April 8th, today, at the Mishawaka, my band is playing with Wooleye, good friends of ours. We're going to be playing inside.
And that's a full band?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my full band, Tyler T and the Common Clay. That's myself doing guitar and didgeridoo and vocals. I'm not doing any of this stuff with that, because we do have a drummer and a bass player. That's Mason Vacek on the drums, Eric Wolheim on the bass, and there's Dave Clapsaddle on the saxophone, and John Sadler on the marimbas. And we also kind of have a cello player, Danny Z.
Zamzow.
Yeah, he's playing cello with us. He's kind of on break right now,
Just
but
had a
he'll
baby?
be back. Yeah, he did. Congratulations,
Actually,
Danny.
his wife did. I
His
guess.
wife did, yeah. But he'll be back with us this summer. We have some shows happening this summer at some of the breweries around. But
other than the April 8th show, was there one coming up pretty quickly after that?
There is a thing at Odell's that I'm doing with John, or actually Dave, my saxophone player, the day after the FOCO MX Festival, that Sunday. We will be up there I'll be doing this, and he'll be playing saxophone. So
Will you be playing Foco MX?
We will, yeah. The band is playing at Avo's on the Saturday night, the 23rd. Yeah. We're at Avo's at 8 o'clock.
Do you collaborate with a lot of local musicians other than your bandmates?
For kind of live stuff, not a whole lot, but on the recordings I did, there were a ton of local players on it. Like everyone, let's see, there was Kerry Morin, Michael Kirkpatrick, Steve Amadei, John Magny. There were harmony vocalists on it. Amanda Hofer did a lot of that. There were different drummers, bass players, and a lot of the guys in my band were involved in it too. But I wanted to be able to bring people in that I wouldn't normally be able to just do shows with.
Sure.
And put in all this rehearsal time with them. So the recording was a good outlet to collaborate with a lot of people.
Your last recording was Wildflower, and that came out late 2017 or 2019.
Yeah, right before the pandemic started. Great time to release a record.
Well, we played it quite a bit at KRFC.
I really appreciate that.
And then you have A World to Wander, which was released, 2014?
That's about
Middle
right.
of the summer?
Yeah.
And
so. That was the last thing I did before I left Texas.
All right. So the Wildflowers recorded at Stout Studios here locally. So you do most of your recording and business here in Colorado now, obviously, because you're living here in Fort Collins. All right. Well, speaking of Wildflower, Feather in the Wind's your next tune. That is right from Wildflower. And is there any backstory to this one?
Feather in the Wind, I wrote it when I was on tour. I was actually hanging out in Scottsdale at a friend's house next to the pool all day.
Great place to be.
Yeah, I was just feeling happy to be on the road and not being tied down to anything and having a whole lot of responsibilities. So it was, I guess,
like
kind
a
of
feather
about
in the
that.
wind?
Yeah, exactly.
Tyler T. here on Live at Lunch.
Shines on an open road, free rein, where to go, fly into the breeze, free fall back to earth with ease. Give up control and go with the flow. Wherever the tide turns, your winds will blow. While the rock that holds me, I'm a feather in the wind. Free flying feather in the wind. Time slips into the past as our evening sun is falling fast. Breathe, prepare to fly as I lend myself to the sky. Give up control and go with the flow. Wherever the tide turns, the winds will blow. While the rock that holds me, I'm a feather in the wind. Free flying feather in the wind. Move to the realms of my own design. Lease out a caution in my mind to the wind. Give up control and go with the flow. Wherever the tide turns, the winds will blow. While the rock that holds me, I'm a feather in the wind. Free flying feather in the wind. Free flying feather in the wind.
Feather in the Wind. Tyler T. here on Live at Lunch, KRFC 88.9 FM. What a fun song. I'm hearing a lot of additional sounds that weren't on the original recordings, too, and I'm really enjoying that. You're exploring those digital and world music vibes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the, I guess I like kind of keeping things different. The band is the main focus kind of right now.
Uh-huh.
Where all my energy and passion is going. But I do love, I always love doing this.
Yeah.
Although I'm doing it a little less nowadays.
Well, you're doing a lot of it today, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What's the best place for people to go to get information on Tyler T and your shows and obtain your music, things like that?
So I just had my website all redone, and it's beautiful looking right now. It's tylertmusic.com. All one word, TYLERTMUSIC. That's how you spell it, right? Yeah, .com. And everything's on there, calendars updated all the way. There's a few videos on there.
Swag?
The merch is on its way up there, but I do have that too.
Wonderful.
That's being worked on. That's all available at all the live shows we do.
With all the local musicians that you know and work with and everything, I always ask everybody this question. Is there somebody out there on the local scene right now that you're listening to that you think people should maybe be aware of and get into?
Carrie Morin, if you're not
Sure,
aware
of
of them, I did a gig with them at the new Chippers, up there in North College a few weeks ago, and that was a great time. Him and I have a long history of being buddies, hanging out and doing shows, and he was in my band for a little while.
Yeah?
Back when it formed many years ago. Maybe he'll sit in someday again. But yeah, I'd say them. I've been to a Violet Pilot show recently. That was cool.
We've just had them on Live at Lunch here a few weeks ago.
I want to see it all. I like to get out there and support all my friends. And I saw T-Mule on here the other day. It's good to see him again.
Good, buddy. Well, you are going to play some more new music for us. Drum of the Beat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this one's brand new.
Album?
Yeah, I wrote this. Finished writing it when I was snowboarding up at Copper a few weeks ago.
Tyler T.
All right, thank you.
got a brand new religion feeding her soul. Let's go for inhibitions, loses control. Move to the rhythm, dance to the drum of the beat. She likes 4 beats a measure, 4 on the floor. It's all about the simple pleasures, hungry for more. Move to the rhythm, dance to the drum of the beat. Spinning round, round like she does. So down at the sound she found just because. Like the force of nature, it can't be denied. Speaking to your inner creature deep down inside. Move to the rhythm, dance to the drum of the beat. Got the soul connection, gets lost in the groove. Feel perfection, see you get up and move. Move to the rhythm, dance to the drum of the beat. See you spinning round, round like she does. So down at the sound she found just because. Brand new religion feeding her soul. Go for inhibitions, loses control. Move to the rhythm, dance to the drum of the beat. Move to the rhythm, dance to the drum of the beat. Move to the rhythm, dance to the drum of the beat.
Drum of the Beat.
Yeah, that's
Tyler
a new
T.
thing.
Yeah, that's sweet. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Looking forward to an entire album. All these new songs
Oh, yeah.
have been great.
I'm thinking about this new album, maybe sort of bringing some of this solo style stuff into it.
Yeah?
Kind of mixing some of the electronic stuff with the band.
Psychedelic electronic world
Yeah,
vibe
yeah.
going on there.
That sounds good. I like
Yeah, and it does sound good. Tyler T. here on KRFC's 88.9 FM, live at lunch. Well, you know, you might mention again, you will be at a gig coming up here on April 8th.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the Mishawaka with the band. The band is on at 7, and I think Wolai will take the stage around 8:30, something like that.
Will you be playing with them also?
I think so. I think
Sit in.
one of them might join us for something. I might join them for something. Who knows?
Mishawaka, what a wonderful place to see bands and enjoy themselves.
And there is a new development with this show. I think anyone who has a ticket is also has got a free ride waiting on them from Old Town.
Oh, the bus.
Yep, thanks to our friends at Stamp Planetary Transportation.
Wonderful.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. Hop on the bus.
Thanks. Yeah, I was going to ask you, what got you into music originally?
My grandmother was a really awesome piano player, and her brother is like a marching band director. He was the marching band director for Texas Tech.
Oh.
So it's kind of like a family thing. She got me my first guitar when I was a teenager. And, I was into stuff like Led Zeppelin at the time. And I just moved to Lubbock from Houston, where I was kind of starting to play guitar.
From a huge metro area
Yeah.
to the middle of nowhere.
I know. It was a major shock. Very different. But she took me to a pawn shop one day, and we got this kind of Les Paul knockoff guitar that I started out on. And she always encouraged me to take lessons and practice, and I did.
Were you playing mostly for yourself at that time, or were you in a band right from the start?
I got into a band really early when I was in high school, probably around 14 years old. I started a little band with some friends of mine. We were kind of like punk rockish, but sort of psychedelic.
What kind of
really
music were you
loud.
doing then?
It was like, rock and roll, punk rock, garage type stuff. We were all skateboarders.
Yeah?
And
Fast and loud?
Yep, fast and loud, lots of weird effects and pedals, so that
Yeah.
kind of psychedelic thing was still there. But I kind of thought, like looking back on all that, we used to, like we would get out of school probably around 3 o'clock every day, and we would go to the drummer's house in the basement and probably play until like 7, just about like 5 days a week we would do that.
So your chops got
And
pretty
I
good,
didn't
huh?
really realize that. Like we weren't. It wasn't like practice. We were just
playing.
playing music in the basement. But then I was like, wow, we put in like years and years of playing together, and we got to be as good as teenagers could get, I guess.
Do you still keep contact with those guys?
One of them, yeah, he was. One of them was actually my bass player up until the time I left Texas. So him and I had been playing music together for probably 12 years at that point. And he had since moved to Austin, but we're still buddies. Still hang out when we can.
So what drew you to the Fort Collins music scene more than Austin, which obviously has a huge music scene also? Was it trying to get out of Texas and the weather? And
Kinda, yeah. Getting out of Texas had a lot to do with it. I still love Austin, though. Austin's a lot of fun. I've performed there a bunch of times. It's hard to make a living doing music down there for obvious reasons.
that's what I understand.
And I did have a lot of friends that moved down there kind of after high school, so I have a lot of people that...
Connections.
But I think Fort Collins seemed a little more kind of diverse and open-minded. Not more than Austin, but definitely where I was. And I like the mountains. I always liked to snowboard growing up, and being where I was in Texas was too far from that.
Well, the skateboarding translates into snowboarding.
Yeah, they said, I saw somewhere, somebody said, or I overheard it, that snowboarders are just washed up skateboarders.
Or frustrated skateboarders, who knows?
And I was like, I guess, I'll take that. I
So
got tired of scraping my knees.
Now you just get cold and...
Yeah.
So you're going to play Stone Tree, which is off of Wildflower, your most recent release. What's the backstory on that one?
I've kind of always been into like, fiction type, like, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, fantasy fiction type stuff. And I was in a songwriting class that encouraged us, that type of stuff is good for
To draw from
songwriting.
it.
Yeah. And I was kind of just on that kick one day, thinking about, galaxy far, far away and fairy tale type stuff. And then I just kind of put it on paper. Went with it.
And it happened. Yep. Tyler T. on Live at Lunch.
wanna take you away for the hills beyond the sea, to a place I will stay, break away from reality. Just you and me. Just you and me. Someday this will be ours, the edge of a galaxy. Gonna dance with the stars, hand in hand in ecstasy. Careless and free. Careless and free. Take my hand through the dark, another land, carve our names on the bark of a stone tree. As I wait till that time, close my eyes and there I see you right there by my side. You and me beneath the stone tree. Just you and me. Stone tree. Take my hand through the dark, another land, carve our names on the bark of a stone tree. where we'll be, nobody knows. Then where the stone tree grows, you and I will have it made. Home in the shade, the stone tree. Take my hand through the dark, another land. Carve our names on the bark. Stone tree, stone tree, stone tree, stone tree.
Stone Tree by Tyler T. here on Live at Lunch. Yeah, I loved some of those vibes that were going on in there, and I can picture being in space.
Yeah. Good. That's the point.
That's the idea, right? All right. So I was going to ask you, what inspires you to write music?
Just life happening.
Mm-hmm.
Making friends, meeting people, having a good time, dancing. That's what my kind of like latest song is about.
Do you collaborate with other musicians when you write?
Not
at all?
really. I kind of have encouraged my band members, well, not a whole lot. I'm like, what does this song make you feel like?
Mm-hmm.
How can we get this ball rolling on, what are these chords? How do they make you feel? What should it say? But I guess ultimately comes down to me hanging out on the couch, thinking about it myself.
Doing it. Mm-hmm. All right. Do you have any hobbies outside of music? Besides snowboarding?
Snowboarding. I got really into like working out and exercising last summer. I've kind of been on the lazier side this winter. But paddleboarding was a thing I got into last summer. That was great. My girlfriend took us out to Horsetooth a bunch.
Well,
Hey,
all right.
Heather.
So you are going to do another one here from Wildflower. Mm-hmm. We've got about 5 minutes left in 4 or 5 minutes left in the show, and Away From It All is a great tune off of Wildflower. What was the story behind that one?
That one was just kind of itching for a vacation, getting out of the usual routine, and running away with somebody. That's sort of where it was actually, I heard somewhere, I must have been watching a movie or something and heard like one of the lines that's in the song, kind of like thinking about where you are,
Yeah.
always wondering what you're doing. So.
Well, before we get
Took
into that,
that.
I'd like to thank today's production team here on Live at Lunch, Fort Collins Public Media with Chris and Eric, and our sound technology team of Andy House and Colton Boening. And this has been Live at Lunch. Thank you for listening to Live at Lunch. Live at Lunch is produced by KRFC 88.9 FM in the Ginger and Baker studio. If you'd like to appear on Live at Lunch, email the music director, David, at krfcfm.org. And Mr. Tyler T. has been our guest today. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming in.
Thanks to all you guys. This sounds awesome up
It's
here.
been an excellent show. And so you can lead us out away from it all.
Sure. Yeah.
Excellent. Have a great time. We'll see you April 8th.
Awesome. Thank you.
Another lonely evening, she called me on the phone. Tired of this feeling, she's tired of being alone. Take me away from it all. Wonder what you're doing, I wonder where you are. Waiting for the day when you will take us far away. Away from it all. Someday, away from it all, under the stars, under the sun, nowhere too far, we can't run away from it all. Tell me what you're thinking, tell me how you feel, waiting for the day when we can disappear somewhere, away from it all. Place you never seen and a place you never knew. You get lost in me and I get lost in you somewhere, away from it all. Someday, away from it all. Under the stars, under the sun, nowhere too far, we can't run away from it all. Away from it all. Leaving tonight, everything will be alright. We will run, we will hide, away from it all. Under the stars, under the sun, nowhere too far, we can't run away from it all. Away from it all. Away from it all. Away from it all.
This has been Live at Lunch from KRFC 88.9 FM, radio from Colorado, for Colorado, and the world. Live at Lunch is supported by the Music District, a music-centric gathering place to cultivate talents, support professional development, and encourage connections. Live at Lunch shows are available to view the following week at krfcfm.org. Live at Lunch's executive producer is David Vacek. If you'd like to appear on Live at Lunch, contact David via email at david@krfcfm.org.